This week's edition of AEW Dynamite was a fantastic watch from beginning to end, especially the opening segment between CM Punk and MJF. The feud between the two is heating up. Both CM Punk and Bryan Danielson also wrestled on the show tonight, and we had a major 8-man tag team match in the main event, so as you can probably tell, it was a pretty stacked show, so let's get straight into it, starting off with that promo. CM Punk came out for his match against QT Marshall, but was interrupted by MJF. The Soul of the Earth said that if Punk went toe-to-toe with him in the mic, it would be curtains for him, and he would be finished faster than his UFC career. MJF added that while CM Punk dropped pipe bombs, he dropped nukes. Punk grabbed a mic of his own, saying that he didn't know Maxwell's name was Maxwell, and thought it stood for my jealous friend. Punk further added that MJF was doing not a revolutionary, in fact he was just a less famous mix. MJF hit back, saying CM Punk's breath smelt like shit, and he was from an arse kicking. He added that by the look of Punk's eyes, he was the one who needs to go to sleep. MJF then name dropped John Cena, saying that CM Punk may as well teach hustle, loyalty and respect. MJF then added CM Punk would be scared because WWE, he was treated as a cult hero because fans was held down. He then challenged Punk to prove everyone wrong. MJF then added that while every promoter's dream, Punk was just a tattoo guy from the worst part of the Midwest, Chicago. He finished off by saying Punk has always been the second best, whether it's be Cena or Triple H. Punk replied saying that he had indeed been scarred when he came back to wrestling after 7 years. Punk replied that he was not scared any longer. The straight edge superstar said he was going to go on the offensive. Punk added that the Pinnacle leader was so busy saying he was one of the pillars of AEW, he didn't realise Britt Baker had replaced him. Punk added that the only way MJF could become the number one guy would be if Tony Khan could have a daughter he could marry. CM Punk finished off by saying that the last time he was in Chicago, he gave everyone free ice cream and he could think of nothing better than by punching MJF this time. This promo was just outstanding. Let's just get on to the match and I'll go into it a bit more further. CM Punk started the match strongly, and Nick Colorado and Alan Solo were quickly ejected. Punk took QT down with a back elbow before hitting a series of Irish whips. Marshall briefly took control and hitting Punk with a vertical suplex and then locked in a side headlock. As Punk tried to break free, he took a knee to the midsection. QT then slapped across the face and saying he was nothing. Punk replied with a big boot to the head before he followed up with a Russian leg sweep before heading to the top rope and hitting a flying elbow. Punk quickly followed up with a GTS. QT put in a valiant effort, but it wasn't enough. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. The match was really fun. Obviously what we expected, but yeah, Punk win. But that promo was just incredible. I just can't wait for Punk versus MJF. Some of the lines, the Miz, hustle, loyalty and respect, just outstanding. Words can't do it justice. Next up on Dynamite, it was time for a backstage interview with Christian, and he was with Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, of course. Craig said that he just found out his pals were the number one ranked tag team, and added he was ready to help them win the gold before Eddie Kingston was in catering when he was interrupted by Daniel Garcia. Matt Lee said Kingston was happy and content now and he was not hungry anymore. Garcia then tossed a cup of coffee in his eyes. Kingston had to be restrained by staff before he got Gun Club versus Bear Country. Billy Gunn and Colton Gunn blindsided Bear Country to start the match. Out at ringside, Bear Bronson charged at Colton Gunn, who sidestepped him, leading him to a crash in the ring. Billy Gunn took out Bear Boulder at ringside. Meanwhile, Colton Gunn hit Bear Bronson with a Colt 45 to pick up the quick win. Sting's music hit after the match. Austin Gunn charged up to the ring to confront him, but Darby Allin took him out. Sting and Darby then headed to the ring, forcing Colton and Billy out. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Just kind of in between pay-per-view feud that for Darby, but yeah, on the whole it's fine. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Dante Martin was backstage on Dynamite with Schiavone, Rush and Team Taz, and Rush tried to stop Dante signing a contract with Team Taz, but he eventually did it, and I did not see this coming. But yeah, Dante Martin and Team Taz, let's see where that goes. Before we got Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter in the TBS tournament, they locked up to start the match before it quickly spilled to the outside. Jamie hit back with clubbing blows after Rosa sent Hayter crashing into a barricade. Hayter took Thunder Rosa with a back elbow and followed up with a knee to the kidneys. Rosa then hit a leg trip, sending Hayter crashing into the bottom rope. The match spilled outside before Rossa sent Hayter headfirst into the barricade before getting back into it at ringside. Rossa tried to lock in the guillotine, but Hayter easily powered out, tossing the former NWA Women's Champ across the ring. She replied with a running direct kick to the corner on Hayter. Hayter locked in a modified Craver hold before Thunder Rosa was taken out. She hit back with a Russian leg sweep before locking in a Peruvian necktie. Reba then distracted the ref as Britt Baker broke the hold. Baker accidentally hit Hayter with a super kick. Thunder Rosa then rolled Hayter up. Hayter wasn't happy and walked out. Yeah, create an interesting story from it. It was a fun little match, right result, and yeah, building out to that under Ross the Britt Breaker, I'll go about 7 out of 10. We were then backstage with Britt Baker and Rebo and Tony Schiavone, who was celebrating Thanksgiving, which was rather sudden, but Schiavone then informed Britt Baker that Riho had never been eliminated from Casino Battle Royal, and Tony Khan had booked a match between her and Baker for Black Friday's edition of Rampage. Okay, well, good that you've eventually found out, but yeah, looking forward to that match. Before Danielson Cabana kicked off, and Danielson was all over Cabana in the early stages, going for an armbar, but Cabana managed to grab the bottom rope. Bryan then charged at Colt Cabana in the corner, but ran headfirst into the turnbuckle after the Dark Order member sidestepped him. Bryan Danielson quickly hit back with his German suplex and followed that with a running boot in the corner. Danielson then unloaded on chops and tried to follow it out with a backdrop from the top rope. Cabana then sent Danielson crashing to the mat and hit a moonsault for a near fall. Danielson replied with stomps in the middle and then hit a label lock, forcing Cabana to tap out. After the match, Danielson was being interviewed and said that he would be in Atlanta next week, where 2 Dark Order members were from. He asked them to step up before Hangman Page came out and challenged Danielson to a match then and there. Danielson replied that Hangman wanted to wrestle him after he'd already competed. Wasn't cowboy shit, but it was coward shit. Good line, to be fair. Hangman said he wanted to fight and wouldn't let Bryan take the first shot. Danielson then slapped Hangman across the face. Hangman hit back with a boot and then went for the buckshot lariat, but Bryan rolled out of the ring. Yeah, the build to this has just been fantastic so far. Loving this dynamic. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. On, it was time for Cody Rhodes, Pac and the Lucha Bros versus Andrade El Idolo, Malachi Black and FTR. Cody Rhodes and Harwood started things off with the former taking the latter down with a shoulder tackle before Cody followed out with a power slam before Pac was tagged in. Cody had tossed his belt into the fans before tagging in, but it was thrown back in the ring. Pac worked on Harwood's arm before Wheeler tagged in on Dynamite. Wheeler then had a wrist lock on Pac, who hit back with a boot to the head. Pac then hit a body slam before tagging Penta in. The Luchador hit a driving kick from the top rope. Wheeler and Penta then traded strikes before Penta hit a super kick and Wheeler hit back with a clothesline. Phoenix then took Andrade down when both were tagged in before Death Triangle hit a triple dot jack following a double tag. Cody Rhodes tagged himself into a shower of booze. Rhodes got triple teamed in the corner. Phoenix was all over the heels, taking down everyone in sight. He hit an Escalona followed by a Hurricane Rana to Malachi Black and got a boot on Andrade. The heels had Phoenix isolated in their corner during the commercial break. Phoenix hit back with a spinning kick, tagging Penta in. He then hit a double DDT to FTR, followed by a backstabber to Andrade. The match broke down at that point. Cody Rhodes accidentally hit his partner Pac with a super kick. Andrade capitalised and hit Cody, but his running knees attempt was thwarted on Pac. Tony Blanchard and Ryan Anderson were then the last men standing, and they were having a square off before they both took down Andrade's assistants. Phoenix then wiped out FTR with a splash. Penta and Phoenix dived out of the ring, taking out Dax and Cash. Black hit Pac with a miss to the eyes, and Andrade hit a hamlock DDT to pick up the win. The right result for me in this one, and yeah, on the whole I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Really fun match, really fast paced, and the right winners. What more could you want? Overall this week, AEW Dynamite gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Yeah, this was a brilliant episode of TV. So much great storytelling, great matches. I don't know what the next special TV event is. Probably winter is coming. But yeah, they're building really nicely to that. And I can't wait to see that card. Because the build so far has been exceptional. This was another really brilliant episode of TV. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, comments down below. Follow me on Twitter, link description for daily wrestling news. And subscribe to my channel and screen right now. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.